Imagine living in the Middle Ages, a time without supermarkets, refrigerators, or fast food. What would eating be like in a world where everything depended on the seasons, harvests, and the power of the church? Today, we're traveling back in time to uncover the secrets of medieval food, from the tables of kings to those of peasants. In the Middle Ages, food wasn't just a necessity. It was a symbol of status. The wealthier you were, the more exotic and varied your diet. Nobles had access to rare meats, expensive spices, and extravagant feasts, while peasants lived on a simple and repetitive diet. Lords and royalty enjoyed a diet rich in meats and poultry. Hunting was a noble pastime, and castle kitchens had specialized cooks preparing boars, deer, swans, and even peacocks, which were served with their feathers intact to impress guests. In addition to meat, nobles enjoyed spices such as cinnamon, black pepper, nutmeg, and ginger. These spices came from the East and were so valuable that they were sometimes used as currency. White bread, made from refined wheat, was also a privilege of the elite, while the poor ate dark, dense bread made from rye or barley. Drinks were also part of medieval luxury. Wine was the nobility's drink of choice, often mixed with herbs and honey. Beer, on the other hand, was consumed by all social classes, but its quality varied depending on wealth. While noble banquets were filled with meats and spices, peasants survived on grains, legumes, and vegetables. Bread, oatmeal, porridge, and soups were the staples of their diet. Meat was rare, and when available it came from small animals such as chickens and pigs. Most peasants worked on land owned by feudal lords, and much of the harvest went to the landowners. This meant their diet relied on what they could grow and raise in small gardens and farms. Cabbage, onions, leeks and peas were common, and fruits like apples and pears were harvested in season. Fasting was also imposed by the church at various times of the year, meaning that for long periods, meat was replaced by salted or dried fish. This religious influence shaped not only what people ate, but also when and how they ate. Cooking in the Middle Ages was a challenge. There were no gas or electric stoves, and fire was essential. Castles had large kitchens with enormous fireplaces where spits slowly rotated over the flames. In villages, peasants cooked in communal ovens or in iron pots hung over the fire. Food storage was also complicated. Without refrigerators, food was preserved with salt, smoking or fermentation. Meat was salted and hung to dry, vegetables were pickled in vinegar, and cheeses were made to last for months. If you were invited to a medieval banquet, what would you expect to see? For starters, no individual plates or full sets of cutlery. Food was served on large platters and shared among guests. Bread often served as a plate, and knives were used to cut pieces of meat. Banquets weren't just about food, they were about entertainment too. Musicians, acrobats, and even exotic animals could be part of the spectacle. The goal wasn't just to feed the guests, but to impress them with wealth and extravagance. Food was medicine. Many foods were consumed not just for flavor, but for their supposed medicinal properties. Garlic was used for colds, and vinegar was considered a natural disinfectant. Sugar was a luxury. In the Middle Ages, sugar was so rare and expensive that only the nobility could afford it. Natural sweeteners like honey were more common. The danger of spoiled food. Without refrigeration, food poisoning was frequent. Many people used spices to mask the taste of meat that was already starting to go bad. The myth of medieval hygiene. While hygiene was very different from today, people did care about food cleanliness. Herbs and vinegar were used to wash fruits and vegetables, and some cultures already boiled water before drinking it. Medieval food may seem rustic, but many habits from that time still influence the way we eat today. Bread as a diet staple, the use of spices, banquet traditions, and even craft beer are medieval legacies that have survived over time. Looking back, we see that food has always been more than just nutrition. It tells stories, reflects cultures, and defines societies. Whether at a king's feast or a peasant's simple table, Medieval food was marked by creativity, adaptation, and the constant search for flavor and sustenance. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more incredible curiosities about history and the world around us.